Welcome to Das Packet podcast with Patrick CJ and Kimaru Baby. Kimaru Baby, you're welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Honestly, I can't complain. I feel blessed. So I can't wait to have this conversation. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I woke up this morning and I looked through Facebook
Okay.
and I saw this trending story to do with the chapatis
Oh wow. Uh-huh.
in Kenya. And
Yes.
yes, so chapatis
Uh-huh.
is the latest trending topic in
Mm-hmm.
Kenya. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just wondering, what's all about the chapati thing in Kenya? It looks like
ah.
I am behind the news.
Oh wow. I think our president has a way of making stuff trend. Yeah, so that's kind of the latest from, his desk.
Right.
He promised pupils at a school that he will buy a machine that would make 1 million chapatis a day so that it
Hmm.
can contribute to a school feeding program that was started by the governor of Nairobi County. It's called Dishina County. Dishi is like food.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's like slang for food.
Yeah.
Because chakula is Kiswahili, but dishi now is slang for your food. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So this program was actually started in 2023 by the county government of Nairobi, headed by Sakaja, who is the governor. Yeah, and their goal was they say that 1 in 4 students don't have like a nutritious meal to keep them going through a school day. That's why they introduced that dish in our county. It's sort of
Hmm.
almost, if you know food for education, that's what like
Hmm.
food for education has been advocating for. And I actually think they are partners in this. So when they started this
Right.
program, when they started Dishi in a county, they wanted to have like uh, children in Nairobi get hot meals every lunch, and to make sure that students were sort of kind of included in in this whole idea of we're bringing you food at school. The kids pay, or the parents pay, like 5 shillings per meal. Yeah,
Hmm.
so they have. I was actually doing a bit of research on that. They have
Yeah.
something they call tap to eat. It's a wristband they wear on their hands, and it's actually connected to it. It's supposed to streamline the meals, like how many meals a kid has a day, and so it monitors like the payment, and also if like the student attendance, because if a student doesn't attend, you can easily
Yeah.
monitor through that wristband and know that, oh, this kid maybe missed school because they
Right.
didn't log in. Yeah, and also like parents can load like credits to that wristband using their M-Pesa. So it sounds like actually a very fancy. I didn't know much about it, but after this
Hmm.
chapati
Hmm.
thing, yeah, I think honestly the county government is doing something really nice. And now to the chapati story. So apparently the governor told the president they were doing like a school visit or something. Lately the president has been going around the county in different stops,
Right.
and he went to a school. The governor had talked to those kids, and he's like, what do you want us to add to your meals? The kids are like,
Yeah.
chapati. Chapati in Kenya has been revered. It's like something. I remember, like, when we were kids, actually, we used to only eat chapatis in December, like during Christmas. It was
Wow.
it was that thing you would anticipate, and sometimes you would feel like the smell, somebody's cooking chapatis in their home and it's not a
Yes.
holiday, and it was such a big deal. So for the governor to have asked the kids what they want, and the kids said chapati. So when they had this meeting at the school, including now the president
Yeah.
says, oh, the governor has told me that you guys need chapatis to be included in your school feeding program. I will, the promises that politicians make. So he told them that he's gonna get a machine that can prepare 1 million chapatis a day. And the kids are like, yeah.
1 million.
Yes, 1
That's a
million
lot
chapatis
of
are.
chapatis.
Oh, and now after that, Kenyans got busy. That's why you've seen that online. Yeah, that's the genesis of the chapatis and why they are trending and why people are wearing chapatis as clothes. As what have you seen though, by the way? Because it's so hilarious.
It is. Yeah.
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
because I watched a
Mm-hmm,
couple of videos,
mm-hmm,
and I saw these ones basically where the governor, I think, was asking
mm-hmm,
the peoples,
mm-hmm,
and the peoples asked for chapatis. And
mm-hmm,
then another segment where
uh-huh,
another video where the
mm-hmm,
president
mm-hmm,
was also asking the peoples the same question.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they were like, yeah, we want chapatis.
Everyone, everyone wants chapati. I think even Patrick wants chapati, right? See, you said you're a fan of chapati.
I am a big
Uh-huh.
lover of chapati.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love chapati.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So I mean, technically, if you had to ask me, it's going to be a yes.
Oh, wow. Wow. So looks like if you are in that school, you would have been like the biggest cheerleader of these chapatis coming along. Like, please, chapati, chapati, chapati.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
see. Yeah, people do love chapati. I don't know. Funny thing is that I know how to cook chapati, but I think
Yeah.
I don't fancy chapati that much. But I enjoy cooking chapati for people, and people love it. So I don't know. It's, as I said, it's something that people, for the longest, like most people, don't necessarily eat it every day. So
Hmm.
it becomes like that meal you enjoy. You know,
Yeah.
when you come across it. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I came across this story
Mm-hmm,
um from anyway a newspaper in Kenya, and they were
mm-hmm.
saying the president promised to deliver these machines to every school.
Oh, wow, really? Hey, interesting. Damn. Looks like the kids will be eating chapatis until they'll get bored, honestly, if this happens.
Yeah, and the kids were
Mm-hmm.
asking for addition of meat to
Mm-hmm.
the chapatis.
Oh, no, actually, speaking of which, you know, the way Kenyans have been making fun of that idea of chapati. So,
Right.
people were asking, now that the president has promised to give kids chapati at school, should they
Yeah.
carry their own stew? Oh my god, it's honestly, yeah, should they carry like their own stew to school or something? Or, and also people are asking, can we also like get the chapatis? We can come with our own stew.
I'm telling you. Oh man.
Just well, and honestly, like, but also before maybe we even go further into this conversation, you see the Dishi na County program. They say
Yeah.
that it has employed like it has created like around 5,000 jobs, and also like
Wow.
most of the things they cook, they are usually like locally sourced. Yeah, from
Right.
farmers. If it's like rice, they get rice from Moya. Moya is in a place in Kenya called Kirinyaga. So
Yeah.
their rice is usually called moya because their rice farms, or if I can't remember what you call rice, whatever's plantation or something.
Yeah.
It's in Moya Tebere. So yeah, so they say they get their rice from there. Seems like they're promoting local agriculture. Yeah.
Contributing to the local economy.
Yeah, and they say they actually the Dishina County, they say they feed like around 310,000 peoples a day. So if really that
Right.
number is true, then I guess they are doing amazing.
Yeah. And also, honestly, like considering there are so many reports that basically
Mhm,
say that link, for example, performance in
mhm,
school,
mhm,
academic performance, with,
mhm.
for example, sometimes food and other kind of social issues that people might be
Yeah.
going. So food is like
Mhm,
a very critical part
mhm.
of the learning journey. So it's good
That's
to
true.
see that Nairobi County is doing that,
Mhm.
and probably many other schools are
Mhm.
doing a
Mhm.
similar thing
Mhm.
in other counties as well. That is
I
not
hope so.
making it to the media.
Yeah, I hope they actually do because I remember when we were in
Yeah,
school, food was like such a big deal. Like these kids during lunch hour, during my time, who did not probably carry like a meal. So I remember like for our class, we used to sort of like contribute. So you
yeah,
find that if you come with something, you give them a small share. So
yeah,
by the end of the day, that kid has eaten actually a lot of food because kids were used to be a bit generous, especially for, I can speak for my class. Yeah, but there's kids who miss out on food like a lunch, and then
yeah,
that means of course they would not their performance wouldn't be as good as you said. So yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so because I came across these pictures
Mm-hmm.
where basically
Yes.
like
Uh-huh.
roads
Mm-hmm.
within Kenyan towns have been painted with chapati. Like there's chapati all over the place. And I was like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
is
Mm-hmm.
Kenya
Mm-hmm.
secretly preparing
Mm-hmm.
for the Chapati Olympics? with
What?
because with
Uh-huh.
1 million chapatis daily, Kenya will
That's a lot of
definitely take the
chapati.
gold.
I swear that's like a lot of chapatis, honestly. You could actually say yes, we are preparing for some Olympic for, or whatever. For chapati
Chapati
marathons.
Olympics.
They're gonna I think now we won't even have to rely on our athletes to do the thing. We just need to line up the chapatis. And since most of the times they just look similar, if you start with one and just, at the end of the finishing line, we already won. Because the chapatis are already on the finishing line.
Oh
But
man.
I don't know. I feel like people have used AI to generate lots of images, and
Yeah.
I think, according to me, it's being used in a very satirical way
Yeah.
to talk about the politics in Kenya right now, and
Yeah.
especially because Kenyans have sort of had issues with the current government,
Mhm.
especially since last year.
Yeah.
So, them like say talking about the chapatis, and the reason why I think it's actually trending, it's because
Yeah.
people are actually being sarcastic about it.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why it's on. And by the way, in Kikuyu, now that I'm a Kikuyu, in
Yeah.
Kikuyu we call chapati shafashi. You
Chafashi.
get? Yes,
Yeah.
shafashi. So
Mhm.
remember, so what people have been doing, like let me give an example that I have seen.
Yeah.
There's the social health something. The
Yeah.
most recent whatever that was SHA means, why am I even forgetting? Yes, but it is the most recent introduced whatever for insurance, health insurance in
Oh.
Kenya. We used to have another health insurance that was called NHIF.
Yeah.
But now the current government did away with that system and decided to transfer Kenyans to a new system that's called
Mhm.
SHA for their health insurance. Yes.
Yeah.
And funny thing is that it has not been working. People have been, when it was introduced, I don't think there was a lot of civic education that was done around it, or
Mhm.
a bit of awareness. So there has been a lot of issues with the whole transferring us to like a new system, and there's people who have had to pay with their lives,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
there's just a lot of things that are not working with the system. There's like
Right.
private hospitals that have withdrawn from being part of this SHA. So it means that if you go to a hospital, you have to dig deeper into your pockets if you go to a private
Yeah.
hospital to pay
Yeah.
for services. So
Yeah.
for SHA, now you see when you call it, because chapati in Kikuyu is in shafashi. So you see now
Yeah.
what people are doing? They are like sha, they put it in caps.
Yeah.
Then fashi. But what they're trying to communicate is, I think it's more about, so we can have chapati, but we cannot have a working health system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
Uh-huh.
I definitely came across
Mm-hmm.
comments
Mhm.
that suggest such a sentiment, like
Mhm.
online.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
for 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 me, I think what I noticed was that Kenyans are not particularly against the 1 million chapatis, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, oh, even the guy that basically asked for this
Mhm.
1 million chapati machine.
Yes.
I think people
Mhm.
are just mad that there are other issues.
Mhm.
Like for
Yes.
example, there's no proper drainage.
Yes.
There are
In
poor
Nairobi
roads.
especially. Mhm. Mhm.
Exactly. The
Mhm.
health sector is still unhealthy. Like there's so many
I
things.
swear. And the health, oh my God, the health sector is unhealthy. Wow. No pun intended.
Yeah, there's
Wow. Uh-huh.
shortage of water supply.
Mhm.
There are
True,
no
true, true.
jobs for youth,
Mhm.
and
Mhm. Mhm.
women and men in Nairobi. So I totally see, like, why
Mhm.
people are mad
Mhm.
about this,
Yeah.
and I also
Priorities.
see why others are not mad, because they're like, you know what, you can't study when you're hungry.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh. But speaking of which, I think
yeah,
it's more about what is it called? Misplaced priorities. Because,
yeah,
for example, there's a school I know of in Turkana that was trending a while back. There's this comedian in Kenya called Eric Omondi. Eric Omondi had
yeah,
gone to that school and built them a structure. And
yeah,
then somebody came and demolished that. It was a structure made of iron sheets. Somebody
yeah,
demolished that structure, and that was like somebody put in some effort to make sure that these kids have a classroom, because they didn't have a classroom. I think they were actually studying under a tree, if I'm not wrong, in
right,
northern Kenya. Yeah,
yeah,
so how are you buying us a machine that can make also 1 million chapatis
yeah,
instead of probably building a school or a classroom for such kids, for example? Is
right,
really chapati a priority? And chapati is a bit of a luxury in Kenya, especially for the most common Kenyan, everyday
yeah,
Kenyan.
yeah,
It costs a lot to prepare chapati. Because
yeah,
even right now, chapati, if you go to, like, you see the way people cook chapati on the road or something like that. If you
yeah,
go buy chapati right now, just one,
mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm,
small, it's not so big. It retails at around 20 to 25 shillings.
yeah,
So if it's that expensive to make one chapati, it means
yeah,
maybe the disgrantolees probably find them an easier meal, use that money to
yeah,
build a school somewhere,
yeah,
or
yeah,
but you can be like, you're promising to give us chapati when there's more. Like, what's your priority? Honestly, that's what I would think Kenyans are thinking right now. What's your priority? Or
right,
maybe that's
right.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, it just goes to show sort of like misplaced priorities. I feel like it sounds so fancy to definitely provide chapatis, and maybe
Right.
it is good to provide chapatis at some point. Maybe kids deserve to eat chapatis even if it's once in a while. But
Mhm,
the reason why
mhm.
for me, maybe as on in my personal view, I'd be like chapati is not a priority, is because, as I have said, there's a school
Yeah,
probably that doesn't have a classroom. There's a school
yeah.
that doesn't have enough teachers. And let me just give you, I actually got a screenshot. There
Okay.
was this there was this journalist called Stephen Leto. He works
Mhm.
at Citizen. So he did like a breakdown of how much it will cost to do these chapatis per day. So they say
Yeah,
one packet of the unga will give you one packet of, I think it's 2 kg unga, gives
yeah,
you wheat, gives you like wheat flour, I mean, it gives you
yeah.
25 chapatis. So
Yes.
you need 40,000 packets per day to make 1 million chapatis.
Right.
Yes, one packet of that requires you to have like half a liter of cooking oil.
Mhm,
So 40,000 packets will need you to have 20,000 liters per day.
mhm.
You see the
Yeah.
economics around these.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
then they say like one packet of that unga costs 164 shillings. That's
Mhm.
like a dollar or something. around
Mhm.
$1.5, yeah. And then
Yeah.
half a liter of cooking oil goes for 189 Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yes. So 40,000 packets will need you'll have to buy that using 6.5 million, and
Mhm.
20,000 liters will need you to use 3.7 million. Remember, we are
Mhm.
talking about per day.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
consumption per day goes to 10.2 million.
Yeah.
Does it make economic sense? So per week you need 71.9 million, and he
Yeah.
said per year, which is around 36, I think they say 36 weeks of learning because of the school holidays.
Yeah.
You need 2.5 billion.
5 billion. Yeah.
2.5 billion, and he has included, he says it's excluding cost of transport, labor, distribution, etc. You've not even
Mhm.
paid the people who made the chapati.
Yeah.
You you've not distributed the chapati to the schools. Like, yes.
Right.
Anyway, now you see why it doesn't make sense.
But what is the cost of the current feeding program or programs? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure. I would have to find out. But
Yeah.
I would think that I'm, as I said, I know I have not necessarily found out how much it costs, but I
Yeah.
would think that the fact that they started that feeding program in 2023 and they've
Yeah.
been able to sustain it up to now, it means it's
Yeah.
something sustainable. As I said, chapati is more of a luxury product in the context of the food that kids eat at school.
Yeah.
So if you can afford the most basic meals, it might be even costlier probably to have chapatis instead of another simpler meal. Yeah, so
Right.
maybe whatever else they're feeding them might be a bit cheaper.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So, how many chapatis can you realistically eat
Uh-huh.
in one sitting? I'm asking for a friend in State House.
Oh, that one actually differs from one person to the other. Like for me, I think I can't do more than two.
Mm.
But there's people who would eat even five chapatis. And for me, even
I know
one,
I
I'm
can do more
comfortable.
than five.
In one sitting. See, that's what I mean, you know? Yes, I have. Even my brothers, please, they should forgive me. Sometimes my
Yeah.
brothers can eat like a lot of chapatis at once, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, guys, where did you get the appetite? Because for me, now I can't. Yeah, but realistically, let's say between one and five chapatis in a sitting, depending on
Right.
who is eating this chapati. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. I was there are wild comments online.
Which one was like your most like the wildest for you, for example?
For me, one
Mhm,
person was asking
mhm,
whether
mhm,
chapatis have
mhm.
become part of the president's manifesto.
Maybe actually at this point we might not even know what exactly was in the manifesto. There has been too many promises that have not been fulfilled. Please, and by the way, when Kenyans we are talking about these things, people be giving you
Yeah.
disclaimers even online. Like today,
Yeah.
actually, now let me go back to the comments. I
Yeah.
was checking somebody who had done a video on these chapati issues, and then
Yeah.
somebody was saying, "Ati huyu asha." You get like shafashi. They had done that thing for
Mhm.
shafashi. So they are like,
Mhm.
huyu asha. They put the sha in
Yeah.
caps. They're like, huyu asha abductiwa. To mean this one has already been abducted. It's funny,
That
but
is not
you're not even supposed to laugh about it because
I
what
know.
they mean was this has already been abducted because you're criticizing the government at this point.
Right.
Yeah, so please, no one should come for me. Why? But
I
the way I see it, I think that chapati thing elicited a lot of conversations online, and it's
Yeah.
good that people are actually making content around this because now people
Yeah.
can actually work on addressing the real issues. Because if you
Yes.
go to the comment section, people are
Yeah.
calling out like things they see that are going wrong. You know,
Yeah.
they are calling
Yeah.
out the priorities of the government. They are
Yeah.
questioning actions of politicians or people who
Yeah.
represent us. Yeah, so for
Yeah.
me, I think it was good that he said that, because
Yeah.
now we can have these discussions. And also
Yeah.
now, like, it kind of awakens your thoughts, and you start thinking about what are these real issues that
Mhm.
we need to focus on as a nation, whether on a personal level, uh also even like for our leaders, how can we also like hold them accountable? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I think, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, Someone was asking online, and I want to get your
Mm-hmm,
opinion on this.
mm-hmm,
They were
mm-hmm.
asking, are chapatis the key
Mhm,
to academic
mhm.
success in Kenya?
Oh my god. I would say at this point it depends who is saying it, but I would say yes and no. Because as we thrived, we were doing well. We didn't have to eat chapatis. Maybe we were eating chapati once a year during Christmas, and we survived and we did well. But
Right.
if the government implements this program, I think it could be they're trying to tell us that kids cannot do well without the chapatis. Because why insist? Why are you insisting on giving us a machine? Even by there, I was now come to think of it, I was wondering, why are you bringing a machine? And the way Kenyans have been so jobless, probably just
Yeah.
create employment. Like there's so many Kenyans out here who have no work, and people keep looking for work. No one
Yeah.
is creating employment for them, or maybe they are not in a place to create their own employment. So if as a government you would do us a favor, maybe it
Yeah.
would be you to create employment, not to bring machines to do work we could do so easily.
Right.
Speaking of which, I saw a video on TikTok. There were guys, I don't know where they had gone, somewhere, I don't know, they were cooking chapatis. There is that jiko. I don't know whether you know what a jiko is. The one that you use
No.
charcoal.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
yeah, there's, I don't know, yeah, in Kenya we call it jiko. It's just some
Mhm.
type of burner that you use charcoal. So I
Yeah.
saw some people online, they were lined
Mhm.
up like a whole queue of people. Everybody
Yeah.
had their own charcoal burner with the
Yeah.
whatever, and they were cooking chapatis. Somebody was like, "Hey, these ones already got the memo. They're already cooking. I wonder where they're supplying."
They are supplying the schools.
Maybe they're supplying the schools before the machine arrives. Oh
Though,
my god. Uh-huh. Mhm.
now a different opinion on this.
Uh-huh.
I came across someone who actually made a post about this,
Mhm.
and this is what he said,
Mhm.
quote unquote, rich
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
see chapatis as trash,
Mhm.
but
Whew.
that's because they don't see the excitement
Mhm.
when the kids were told that chapatis were going to be delivered. He continues to say,
Uh-huh.
you don't just know what a chapati meal means to a ghetto
Mhm.
kid. And I really do think he has a point. What do you think?
Yes. No, no, no. It's actually true. As I said, growing up for me, for example, chapatis were such a big deal. It's not like something you would get access to every day. You
Yeah,
get it would be
yeah,
like on very specific occasions. Oh, there's a holiday somewhere. It's Christmas. It's Easter. You are more likely to eat chapati on those
yeah,
holidays than you are on a normal school day or any other day of the week. You get?
yeah,
And for some people, they were lucky enough probably to have it every other weekend. So
yeah,
you see, growing up for most, the average Kenyan,
yeah,
okay, it's such a
yeah.
big deal to have a meal of chapati.
Yes.
So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's why those kids were super excited. They're like, oh wow, maybe because actually growing up also, even right now, if you go to most schools, they give something called githeri. I don't know what people call it in another place, but I can explain what githeri is
Yeah.
for maybe our international listeners. Githeri is a meal cooked, it's just boiled maize and beans. You boil them together. Yeah, it's the most basic meal.
Oh,
Yeah,
maize and beans.
yes, maize and beans, and that's it. So for most
Interesting.
schools, that's what they serve, especially during lunch, even now, whether it's a
Yeah.
day school or a boarding school. So to
Yeah.
get a meal change, like somebody's promising you chapati, I can
Yeah.
tell you for sure. Our
Yeah.
school, my high school, is a very prestigious school in Kenya, and a very good school actually. We had good meals, but I don't
Hmm.
remember a day we had chapati.
Right.
No, chapati is not a meal that is provided in schools in Kenya. You see, that's why the excitement, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the president was like, we
Mhm.
want to provide nutritious food for our
Uh-huh.
children.
Mhm.
Yeah, which I also agree with.
Uh-huh. Ah, yeah.
So
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you about Sakaja,
Mhm.
because Sakaja I think was a big influence
Uh-huh.
on setting things basically.
Set everything in motion.
Yes.
Ah. So, uh-huh, uh-huh.
So about
Mhm.
Sakaja's influence, is
Mhm.
Nairobi County about to become the Chapati city? Oh, county.
No, I think at this point Kenyans are they're used to promises that go unfulfilled. So this might be
Hmm.
just a passing cloud. But if it is fulfilled, then yeah, Nairobi might be that county where chapati rains, eh? It rains
Yeah.
every day, it pours. Yeah. We will have more chapatis than we could. Oh, not us, not all of us, the children.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he was trying to kind of revamp his Dishi in a county initiative for children, school feeding program. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So, but how realistic it is, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
because honestly, as I said, I feel like, and I don't know, I feel like also politicians have found a way to make everything very sensational,
Yeah.
like when they're making their promises, when they're telling us what they will do, it's like, yeah, they want to leave you very excited, and you maybe forget your worries and start maybe even campaigning for them as early as now.
Yeah.
But whether it will be implemented or not, we are yet to see. And as I always say, time will tell.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the comments on this story is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I love the comments.
Which other one did you come across?
Someone was saying,
Uh-huh.
if chapatis become a
Uh-huh.
daily meal in
Uh-huh.
schools,
Mm-hmm.
math problems might soon sound like,
Uh-huh.
if Wanjiku has
Mm-hmm.
10 chapatis
Mm-hmm.
and Kamau
Oh.
eats
Uh-huh.
4, how
Uh-huh.
angry is Wanjiku?
Extremely hungry. Because wow, why did you eat my chapati? Yeah, extremely hungry by the way. Wow, 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 wow.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenyans, I don't know. I feel like Kenyans have really been using social media actually, whether it's these
Hmm.
chapati stories or it's another story from any other person. But
Right.
Kenyans are sort of, I feel like they're really using social media in a good way lately,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
especially for advocacy, civic education, and all
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, like if you look at those comments, there is a story to tell from those comments. If you
Absolutely.
look at them not just surface level but deeply, there is stories
Yeah.
people are trying to pass across. You just need a little bit of wisdom to know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
exactly people are trying to say, and maybe to relate to what exactly is are the issues in the
Yeah.
country. Yeah, then it's
Yeah.
very easy to decipher what somebody is trying to say, honestly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, with all this AI coming up now, you
Yeah.
know, uh, a million chapatis every day sounds like
Mm-hmm.
a perfect job for AI. But AI might quit over burnout.
They'll be like, nah, I give up. Please take me to whatever police station. I can't do this. I totally agree. Honestly, that would be a lot of chapatis to generate at once if you are
Yeah,
cooking them. Yeah, honestly,
that's a lot of chapatis.
it is a lot
Yeah,
of chapatis. I think it is
especially,
the
I
same.
mean, 1 million a day is not much,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm,
when you look at it from the perspective that these
mm-hmm,
machines are going to be given to every school,
mm-hmm.
then that's a lot of chapatis
It's
per day.
unnecessary. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Well, this
Ah,
chapati thing, wow. Yeah.
yeah,
It's definitely, yeah, but I feel like now that you're talking about chapatis, I feel like it's very easy. I feel like politicians have also found it good. As I said about things becoming very sensational, it's like
yeah,
it's an easy route to actually divert the conversation from like the
yeah,
things that matter,
yeah,
because now all we are talking about is chapati. Maybe there's people who are thinking like it's just such a good thing. Our children will eat chapati, but
yeah,
they're not focusing on the real issues. And of course, there's also
yeah,
the people who are focusing on the real issues, which is where they're using it as a way, like in a satirical way. Okay,
yeah,
so but there's
yeah.
somebody who somewhere who will be just excited. They're like, oh wow, our children will be eating chapatis, and leave it at that. So it kind
But
of also diverts from the real issues.
right. But I
Mhm.
also feel like we shouldn't overly
Mhm.
state the issue of chapati as something that is clearly not a need, because I think we forget that the
Mhm.
issue at heart is
Uh-huh.
feeding,
Yes.
and that is a need.
It is a need.
Yeah,
But now,
for
as I
kids.
said, okay, sorry, but well, as I said, maybe for a normal Kenyan, really, you start thinking about, is it chapati that I really need for now? As I said, chapati is one of the foods I would consider a bit of a luxury for an
Yeah,
everyday Kenyan. Like it's not
yeah,
something you can eat every day, every day, every day. It will become
yeah,
expensive. And if
yeah,
even in your own home you can't eat chapati every day, every day, every day because it's expensive, then for a normal or everyday Kenyan,
yeah,
I start thinking about, instead of giving me chapati, why don't
yeah,
you probably make something like the health insurance work for me, because I
yeah,
cannot anticipate when I get sick or whatever, so that I can be at least covered. Or why don't you probably, for example, look at, maybe as I said, a school that doesn't have a structure, build a structure in that school.
yeah,
Or or probably the cost of food that is more, like, let's say for example, you see posho. In Uganda
yeah,
you guys call it posho, but in Kenya we call it ugali.
yeah,
So why don't you make like ugali more affordable, because that's what we eat on a day-to-day basis in comparison to the chapati. Like
yeah,
bring the cost of the ugali, the unga, down,
yeah,
instead of providing chapatis for me. So that's how I would look at it. Like,
yeah,
stop trying to give me something that I can't even afford on a day-to-day, but try to
hmm,
make the things that I use on a daily more affordable.
yeah,
Bring down the cost of fuel so that even goods and services can get to wherever they need to go easily. Groceries, the cost of groceries becomes a little bit affordable. Because right
yeah,
now, if you look at the whatever, what do I call it? The cost of things has gone up in the last 2 to 3 years. Like
yeah,
what I could buy as groceries maybe 3 years ago, that would take me for a whole month, for example, it's now like almost double the price. You see?
yes,
So for me, when I'm thinking, because I'm thinking long term, I would rather you reduce the cost of maybe fuel, or maybe the cost of fertilizer, so that people can, the cost of food can go down, something that is more sustainable. So you giving me chapati, personally, I daily, it doesn't make any difference in my life.
Right.
Make those other things that I use normally,
Yeah.
very affordable. Something like that, yeah.
No, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so so speaking of ugali,
Mm-hmm.
as like, national dish, is chapati secretly replacing ugali
Yeah,
as a new national dish?
no, I don't think so. I feel like chapati, it's just bars. Even I think they're gonna ruin the chapati thing for us. Why make them so available? We want them to be a luxury, so that when we are having them, we enjoy. You feel like we're in paradise, you know. No, but honestly, the way I know Kenyans, I don't think chapatis can replace ugali.
Right.
Ugali is such a staple. Honestly, chapati cannot outcompete ugali.
I love ugali.
Yeah, ugali is good.
Yeah.
Oh, ugali is good. Mm-hmm.
Ugali ni tamu sana. Ni tamu
Sana.
sana.
Kumbe unajua. Yes, it is. Oh yeah, ugali any day, anytime.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty, I don't know, interesting, this story. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel like when I am reading the comments, I love reading the comments.
I know
When I am
comments are
reading,
always like the it. If you see a video that is funny, go to the comments. The
yes,
comments are funnier. Mm-hmm.
yeah, people are usually wild in there.
Oh yeah, true. The things people say, you are like, huh? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, I feel like at this rate,
Mm-hmm.
if actually the 1 million chapati thing becomes real,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I saw the president serving chapatis.
I
Was it
know it's like
yesterday or
actually
something like
meant
that?
to serve chapatis. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I feel we are going to get to a point where
Uh-huh.
Kenya is going to be celebrating Chapati Day every year.
Oh, yeah, at this pace, yes, we might just have a national holiday for chapatis. Yeah, like, yeah, this is a designated day. Yes, all of you should just stay at home. We are eating chapatis, yeah? We shall see who cooks them better. And maybe it might even, at this point, it might even be introduced in the curriculum, you know, as something that people need to study how to make. Specifically, not just as the home science. No, 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 no. Just chapati making as a
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but I think it's important. Now,
Uh,
satire aside, I think
uh,
it is good to have such a course. I would take it. I
ah,
really want to learn how to make chapati. So I genuinely would enroll for such a
talk
course.
to me. I'll teach you. Talk to me. I'm good at this chapati making business. I wonder even why the government didn't consider giving me that contract instead of looking for like a machine. I can spin those things really fast. Even my friends are always saying, "Hey, Kimaru is the best chapati maker. She cooks them so fast." There's one actually. I'm not even bragging. There's
Okay.
one called Honey. So Honey came to my place some time back, and then she was like, I don't like the way you cook chapatis. It's very impressive because for
Yeah.
me to cook chapatis in my house, I have to
Yeah.
plan a whole week in advance, and it
Yeah.
takes me so long to actually
Yeah.
cook them. Because now she was seated at my house, she's like, "Oh, how can I help you?" I was like, "No, relax, I'll make them for you." So you see, that's what I'm saying. The government should
Right.
have considered me. They should have given me this opportunity, and I would have
Right.
impressed.
Right. I now see. Because the government has given that job to machines is why you're now angry.
Wouldn't you be angry? Like, I
I
can make
would.
the best chapatis out here. Why are they bypassing my skill, you know?
Not just you. Very many others that have the skills like you.
Exactly. Yes, we are so many, and they have refused to employ us. And now I don't know, they expect us to do what? We sit somewhere and wait for the machine to make it. Oh, speaking of the machine, do you know Kenyans have named it El Chapo? Because chapati, the abbreviation for chapati in Kenya is chapo.
Yeah.
So they are calling it El Chapo. Like the Mexican, whatever, drug dealer, the cartel owner. Yeah, the machine is called El Chapo. So we're actually waiting for El Chapo to arrive in Kenya, and then the
Yeah.
1 million chapatis can be spinned, you know?
Yeah. I can't wait
Yeah.
to come to Kenya and eat that.
I know, right? I think the
Yes.
government has really looked and they're like, wow, we need to impress foreigners like Patrick. And we want at them, like at the airport, to be like, oh, karibu chapati, chapati. It's like we will be meeting you at the airport and we are like, we are holding bales and bales of chapatis and dancing like, yeah, chapati, karibu chapati, Kenya hakuna matata. And we give you chapatis. The only thing you need to do is you need to
Yeah.
come with your stew.
Oh man.
Yes, chapati can actually really mess you. So you need to come with your stew just in case or a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that's thanks for the heads up. I'll keep that
Yes,
in mind.
please. Please, yes, yes, tafadhali. Yeah. But
Yes.
yeah, just be ready for
Yes.
anything. And
Yeah.
especially chapatis will rain. They'll rain for sure. Mm.
Yes. I'm very sure. Yeah. I bet at this rate, we are
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to, when I am coming to your wedding, I'm very sure.
There'll be chapatis, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, especially if the government will be the one supplying them, you know
Yeah.
for sure they won't fail you. Yeah, there
I'm
will be
very sure.
chapati, something to look forward
Yeah.
to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know
Mm-hmm.
Kenyan weddings might
Mm-hmm.
start including vows. Vows like, I promise to love, cherish, and share my chapatis.
I swear. Hey, at this point, yeah, that should be like one of those very intimate things that you actually share with your loved one. So, yeah, it
Yes.
makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Yes, honestly, at this point, yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you. To love and to hold, we shall never allow any chapati to come between us, okay?
We shall share it. Here it is, Kimaru.
Oh,
Take it.
yeah. Even the tiniest bit of chapati that we will have in the house, we shall make sure that we actually share it.
Oh man.
Yeah, honestly, at this rate, yeah, they will become actually, you had asked if I think they'll become a staple. If you put it like that, chapati
Yeah.
will become a staple for sure. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
very
But
true.
chapatis are good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Chapatis are
Oh,
good.
very
Yeah.
good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you
Mm-hmm.
this funny question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, would you vote
Mm-hmm.
for, because you guys have an election coming up in
Yeah.
2027, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So would you vote for a president based on their chapati budget?
If it pleases the masses, if it pleases the masses, homestamai, homestamai.
Who knows? Maybe the next president is going to say, you know what? Let's increase it from 1 million. Let it go to
To
5 or
two.
10.
Honestly, if it pleases the masses, I don't think I will be against it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh my god. I think Kenyans, we are serious and unserious at the same time, honestly.
No, but I think it's a
Hmm.
pretty interesting thing. Yeah. I think the
Yeah.
conversations that this
Mm-hmm.
story has sparked a
Mm-hmm.
very useful conversations. Yeah,
Very extremely
yeah,
actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, totally, totally.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted
Uh-huh.
to, as we wrap up, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
chapati with beans
Mm-hmm.
and chapati with the tea. Which one would
Mm-hmm.
you choose?
Chapati with beans.
Yes.
Yes.
And chapati with the tea. Which one would
Chapati
you
with
choose?
tea. So I'll go for chapati with beans if I'm having like a dinner or something.
Yeah,
And then in the morning, quick breakfast,
yeah,
chapati with the tea. If you are trying to grab like a quick breakfast, yes,
yeah,
chapati with the tea. Yes, for sure. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I would go with the chapati with the beans too.
I know. It's usually
Yeah,
it slaps. It is very good.
yeah. I had a lot of it in school.
Uh-huh. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Interest. Your school used to
Uganda
cook you
has a
chapati?
lot of chapati. You guys forget. We
Oh,
produce
because you
probably more than 1 million chapatis a day.
oh, I swear, yes. That one I agree because the last time I was in Uganda, oh, they be making Rolex everywhere. So chapati, chapati,
Yes.
chapati, chapati, chapati,
Yes.
chapati. Yeah. So for them, definitely their budget will be way bigger than the Kenyan budget, you know.
Oh no. The difference is the chapati in Uganda is not
Uh-huh.
produced or sponsored by the government.
Oh, right now you already have like a lot of chapatis sponsored by individuals.
Yes.
If the government was to step in,
Yeah. I
you'll
guess
have
the
to, you would be supplying Kenyans. You would be our
yes.
machine. I
Exactly. We would become your
know,
suppliers.
right? The government should have thought of Uganda. There's always chapati everywhere on the streets, you know?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
should have thought
Very
about that, yeah.
delicious chapati, by the way.
That's true. That's very
Yeah.
true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what you think, but in my
Uh-huh.
opinion, Uganda
Uh-huh.
makes the best chapatis.
Hmm. No, but I think it's true, especially if they make it the Rolex way, then it's good. Why lie?
It's so good. It's so
It is
tasty.
good. Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
You can eat a lot of them and still feel like you
Uh-huh.
haven't had any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they found a fancy way of, eating it. Like, with the Rolex thing, the way it is, it makes
Yes.
it even more delicious anyway. So, yeah, maybe we can borrow a leaf from
Yes.
Ugandans. So
So
you
the
can
next time,
imagine.
uh-huh.
Mhm. If the Kenyan government, let's not talk about this in this podcast. Imagine if the government had about the Rolex. Now, because the last time I checked, the Rolex used to have eggs, right?
Yes, yes.
So you can imagine we need a budget for eggs apart from the budget
No,
for chapatis.
but you guys are already taking it to a higher level. You guys uh you have promoted chapatis from having eggs to having meat. That was what the kids were
Oh,
asking
they
for.
said they want with nyama.
Anataka nyama, wanataka
So
nyama.
no, see, our budget is whew.
Yeah.
So it's good they bypass the Rolex, yeah?
I'm telling you. I don't know how to call that one with the meat. Yeah.
Hey, that one definitely is on its own level. It's like in
Yeah.
its own class. It has graduated, it has gone through a master's class, PhD, and it's an expert now. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow. Chapati for the
So,
win. Mm-hmm.
oh yeah. I mean, we are in an agreement though that Uganda
Mm-hmm.
makes the best chapatis.
I'll let people let us know. Ugandans and Kenyans, please let us know who makes better chapatis. Let us know in our comment sections, so that we can, gauge. I don't want to be the one saying which one is which. Yeah, I'll leave it to the people to decide.
Okay. But I
Mm-hmm.
know Ugandans are going to win.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I didn't say nothing.
I have so much faith.
In Ugandans. Ugandans, you
Oh.
have been represented. Me, I'll let the Kenyans decide. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Kenyans will
And
fight their own battles in the comment section.
right, right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So would you rather eat
Mm-hmm.
chapatis for a year or listen to political promises for 5 minutes?
Hey, let me eat chapati.
For a year.
Every day, every day.
Yeah. Than just 5 minutes of listening to politics.
Oh, 5 minutes of listening to false promises.
No, no, no. Political promises. Yes. Doesn't matter
Just
whether they
five.
are false or not.
Or because I'm not such a big fan of chapati, yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
the 5 minutes if it's just 5 minutes. I can endure the excruciating false promises being made over and over and over again, you know? But eating chapati for a year would be such a torture for me because I can't stand chapatis. Yeah, but I know there's somebody who would choose the chapatis. So, but for me, I'm not such a big fan. So, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. I feel like, for me, I think I'm proud of Kenyans and how they have been reacting to these stories and how right now, whether just being a keyboard warrior, you're trying to hold maybe your member of parliament accountable, your president accountable, whoever you are holding accountable. I feel like these are conversations we definitely need to keep having
Yeah.
because we need to educate. I feel like these conversations are important because that's how we are doing civic education through satire
Yeah.
and bringing to attention like the issues that affect us on a day-to-day basis. Okay,
Hmm.
so I think we need to have more of these conversations, and we need to make sure, apart from having these conversations online, we can bring the conversations to the people. Because
Yeah.
I feel, on a personal level, if you're promising me chapatis every day, and maybe you're providing it for me, but you're not maybe
Mhm.
lowering the cost of living for me, it doesn't necessarily make such a big difference. Like the things that matter for me are the things I would want maybe people in power to address right now. Yeah, because there is more important and pressing issues that we need to focus on. And I would say, if it was not for also what happened last year from I think around June, we wouldn't even have had these conversations, by the way. I think from last year there is like a revolution that happened with the protest
Mhm.
and all that, which is why we are here right now looking at chapati not just as chapati. We are
Right.
looking at chapati as a way to have a conversation, because why are you promising us chapati when you could be building a school, or you could making a road accessible, or you could do 1 2 3, whatever it is you need to do. So yeah, so I'm really proud of how far we have come in the context of speaking up and trying to hold like our leaders accountable and have these conversations on issues that affect us on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
Thank you. Um, Listeners and our viewers, please do share your own funny stories to do with this
Mhm.
chapati story that is trending online. Yeah.
Yes. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And
Let us know
also,
your thoughts. Mhm,
yes. And also remember, behind every unrealistic promise is
mhm.
probably a very hungry politician.
Wow. I couldn't have put it any better, honestly.
If you
Wow.
liked this episode, follow us on all social media platforms at the Spark It Podcast. See you next time on the Spark It
The Sparky
Podcast.
Podcast.
Bye bye.
Bye.